A little over 2 hours and 15 minutes ago, Steve Spurrier, the head ball coach, led the South Carolina Gamecock football team toward an edifice he knows ever so well. A little over an hour ago, it was Spurrier out of the visitors' tunnel at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium as Steve Spurrier returns to take on the Florida Gators. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS this afternoon from the swamp, so named by the former head ball coach whose presence inside this facility is impossible to ignore. After all, he led the Gators to their only national championship. He returned here in September to be one of the 4 original inductees into the Ring of Honor. And so Steve Spurrier is back in Gainesville to take on this Florida team that is led by second-year head coach Urban Meyer. It's football in the SEC on CBS, South Carolina against Florida. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist, along with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. The return of Spurrier has been a sub-theme in the anticipation of this game, and it will remain so throughout the afternoon. But with the stunning events of Thursday night, suddenly Florida's horizons have been broadened. Because Rutgers knocked off Louisville, that will take Louisville out of that number 3 spot in the BCS standings. It opens the door wide open for a number of one-loss teams, among whom is listed the Florida Gators. And Gary, suddenly they have a lot more to play for.
Yeah, a week ago against Vanderbilt, Florida got on that plane saying we didn't impress anybody. But since then, they've clinched the SEC championship. And with Rutgers' win, they're back in the national championship hunt. I think, though, it's going to take more than just wins. They need style points. They need to score on offense more points. They haven't put 30 points on the board in the SEC game yet. I think, how ironically, they're going to have to put some points on a guy who once ran it up on other people in this stadium.
Well, how appropriate that it is Steve Spurrier, who stands in the way of the first of their goals.
You know, when you play Steve Spurrier, you got to be careful, Vern, not to chase ghosts. He's the type of coach that gets you doing things he doesn't really call. He's a solid football coach that's going to throw the football. You must stop the pass.
And so Spurrier comes back. Gators take Florida field first. Gamecocks have gathered. South Carolina and its head coach, Steve Spurrier. We're in the swamp. Spurrier will coach against Urban Meyer. It's SEC football from Gainesville. Florida won the toss. They have deferred the option to the second half. And that means South Carolina will get the ball. And among those who is deep, Corey Boyd, number 3, who last returned to kickoff for South Carolina 2 years ago against Clemson. He fumbled on the 2-yard line. but they have had serious kick return problems.
They have not had a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown all year, and that's why they have 5 drives of over 90 yards for touchdowns. They've got nothing from their return teams.
Joey Eos, number 98, will kick for the Gators. This is a South Carolina team that has played very well on the road. And the kick by Eos. Boyd at the goal line. No fumble here. Back to the 15. Knocked down at the 17. Dorian Monroe made the tackle. And Blake Mitchell gets the start. He came on brilliantly in the second half of the loss last Saturday night to the Arkansas Razorbacks. You see his stats for the day.
And you talk to coaches like Reggie Herring. He said, I've never seen the defensive coordinator for Arkansas throwing like that. We had guys covered, and he just put balls in spots we could not stop.
Mitchell started the season as a starter, then was benched after some ineffective performances. And the quick flip out to the left to Sidney Rice. Tony Joyner, number 19, makes the tackle. And let's check the South Carolina offensive lineup presented by Applebee's up front. Meredith, Coleman, White, Edwards, and Sorensen. 3rd straight game they've started as a unit. Rice and McKinley, the wideouts. Mike Davis gets the start at tailback. Andy Boyd is the tight end. 2nd and 10, Steve Spurrier. 2nd year as the head coach at South Carolina. Flags are down at the snap. That was Mike Davis with the carry, and Jarvis Moss made the tackle.
There was no flag. There was 7 men on the line of scrimmage. Therefore, no illegal formation.
That is Steve Shaw, the referee today, defensively for the Gators. And this front 7 particularly has been outstanding. Harvey, McDonald, Joe Cohen, and Jarvis Moss. Brandon Seiler, despite a bad knee, injured Wednesday, gets the start. And Reggie Nelson is earning All-American accolades as the free safety.
Yeah, I think he's the most valuable player in the Southeastern Conference.
Urban Meyer, 2nd year as head coach, came here after 2 years at Bowling Green, 2 years at Utah. 3rd and short. They hand it off to Davis. He goes left and picks up the initial first down for South Carolina. Losses at home to Tennessee, Arkansas, Georgia, and Auburn. Auburn shocked today by Georgia.
Oh, nice.
Sidney Rice with the catch out to the 46-yard line. That'll move the chain again for the Gamecocks.
Look at Brandon Seiler early in this football game. When he's healthy, he's all over the football field. We're going to watch him a little bit for you to see how good he's moving. I don't think he's moving very well. That does not look like the Brandon Seiler I've watched when he is flying all over the football field.
I'm a little surprised to see him out there.
I am too, to be truthful. I thought they'd kind of figure out a nickel package or something like that.
1st and 10. Draw play. Davis comes right, spins, driven down as he gets to the 48-yard line.
Number 25.
Mike Davis starting in place of Corey Boyd for the 2nd week in a row. Boyd is the leading rusher for the team. Mike Davis last week with 7 carries for 28 yards in the loss to Tennessee, 2 for 6.
When you're hurt a bit, it's hard to get off blocks. And if you watch Brandon Seiler, he used to be able to just eliminate blocks. Watch this. Cannot get off the block right there. That's when you look at a guy. He's in the right spot, but just can't do that last move to make a play.
2nd and 7. Mitchell hit as he lets it go right side. It's caught by Mavlovich. Robert Mavlovich, only his 3rd catch of the season. They don't employ their tight ends much in the pass receiving area.
No, and South Carolina fans will understand that. Jared Cook's big drop put in for a touchdown that could have maybe won a football game. But, you know, when you watch Florida's defense, you have to wonder, when you look at, I'm sure Charlie Strong right now and Greg Madison, the coordinators for Florida, are saying, how long do we go with Seiler? I know he wants to play. I know he's emotional, but does he start to hurt your overall package?
The backup is a freshman, Brandon Spikes. McKinley starts in motion. They hand it to Boyd, comes right. First carry in a couple of weeks. He missed 2 days of practice prior to the Arkansas game. did not carry the ball in that one.
Yeah, I'll tell you, number 30 doesn't hurt you being in there. Earl Everett is a monster. We always talk about Seiler, but watch Earl Everett. He's had game after game. We saw him in that Tennessee game where he was outstanding. He just makes plays.
Well, 5-4 on the road. 4th and 1. They'll think about it. South Carolina calls timeout with 3:07 remaining in Steve Spurrier's return. Hasn't changed much, has he? 3:07 to go, first quarter, 4th and 1. Having called the timeout, looks like South Carolina is either going to try and draw him offside or go for it here.
Wouldn't be a bad time for it.
Same 5 offensive linemen starting today for the 3rd straight game. That's the first time in 22 games for Steve Spurrier's bunch. 4th and 1, they'll go for it, apparently. Toss to Boyd, going left. It's close, a flag is down. And a player is injured. Looks like it might be Earl Everett who made contact with Boyd.
Yeah, where that came from, that's usually holding out the inside on the end of the line by a tight end type player.
Personal foul, face mask, number 13 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Here it is, happened right on the inside of the line. Well, that's an important injury considering Seiler right there. Number 13 is Crum. Watch him grab the face mask as he's going to get knocked down. Tries to hold on right there, right in front of an official, and you're going to get called. I think they would have made it anyway. That's it. By the way, South Carolina is the fewest punts in the Southeastern Conference, only 25 for all season.
Right. 3rd in the country. Hawaii hasn't punted, has only punted 15 times. First down and 10 at the 28-yard line. 4 wideouts. 4-man rush. They flip it out to Sidney Rice. One-on-one goes right by the corner. Ryan Smith, number 26. A gain of 14.
You know, when you can throw the ball well, what happens is it forced you to move your safeties back a bit. And what that does is take Reggie Nelson, usually plays in the middle where he can have an effect on both sides of the field, and now he's on one side of the field. He's going to rotate back, but watch this. You're going to force him to do things he's not used to doing. That creates momentum going the other way for Reggie and doesn't get in there and hit it with the same force that he usually does.
Blake Mitchell has continued his excellent play, 6 of 9 in the first quarter. As time comes right, caught by Freddie Brown, number 82, the 3rd wide receiver. So Mitchell now 7 of 10. Well, a year ago, these two teams played in Columbia, and South Carolina, Spurrier's first game against the team he coached for 12 seasons. They won it 30-22, and it wound up costing Florida a spot in the SEC championship game.
How about that? Last year they only threw the ball 17 times in that game. They've already thrown it 10 in the first quarter.
2nd down inside the 10. 4-man rush by the Gators again. The catch is made by Corey Boyd. He's going to be topped at the 6. Well, that was a 30-22 victory, and we should note that South Carolina has never won in Gainesville. And that guy delivered most of the whippings to the Gamecocks by an average score of 41-16 games played here.
I think there's an old saying around here. I think Lawrence Wright, the all-time player here in Florida, said you're either Gator or you're Gator bait. They're going to try to make Steve Spurrier both today. So far, they haven't been able to do it.
12th play of the drive, Gary. Rice wide left, 3rd and 2. McKinley in motion. They slip it inside. That's going to be close. See where the spot looks like he's going to be a right foot spot. I'm guessing they got enough. It is a first down. Measurement not even called for. So 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, if you can throw the ball effectively, it looks like you can run the ball just enough. This Florida defense has one thing they don't believe in. They don't believe their corners can match up man-to-man. So you're getting to see a lot of easy hitch passes from the South Carolina offense.
First and goal, 2 men wide left. Freddie Brown is wide right. They hand it off. Mike Davis surges toward the goal line. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
Number 30, Earl Everett, is not in the football game. I said it was a big part of the game. Number 32 is true freshman replacement. Dustin Doe is in there. Dustin Doe fanned on the tackle.
And in his return to the Swamp, Steve Spurrier's team has taken a 6-0 lead. Ryan Suckup, the sophomore from Hickory, North Carolina, who does place kicking and punting chores for the Gamecocks, hammers this one home. A 13-play drive that covered 80 yards and consumed 6 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Davis from 4 yards out. South Carolina and the ball coach have a 7-0 lead.
Earl Everett not in the football game. Dustin Doe, his replacement. Good play calling. That's the play behind the play.
Mitchell Brilliant had that terrific second half. Reggie Herring, the Arkansas defensive coordinator, said it was one of the great passing performances he'd ever witnessed. And Mitchell in this first quarter, 8 of 11 for 61 yards. And he has thrown to 5 different receivers. Brandon James bobbles it. Oh, wow. Picks it up a yard in and gets it out only to the 9.
See, that was just a mental mistake by a young player. The ball took him into the end zone. He did not have to bring it out. He could have stayed there and got the ball at the 20. Kickoff, watch. Mishandles it. Panics a bit right here. Now he panics. Stay in. Oh, no, now he's got to run right through his own guy more, and then he doesn't have any momentum to get up the field. Special teams, that was such a worry for South Carolina, makes the play.
Second time that Florida has begun a drive inside its own 10-yard line. Recall the big play was made by Chris Leak, a 13-yard gain, but ultimately Chris Hetland missed a 29-yard field goal. So Urban Meyer and the Florida Gators trail by 7 as we get set for the second quarter in the Swamp. (1990), Steve Spurrier's first season as the Gators' head ball coach. Playing at home, Florida handed 4th-ranked Auburn their worst loss in the series since 1912.
And there's Bedlam on the Gators sideline. This place is an insane asylum in the Swamp. Oh, my.
48-7 was the final in that one, and we are nearby the murky waters of Lake Alice, where a sign sits and says, "Do not feed the alligators. Don't get close to them." Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, first down and 10. Chris Leak hands it off to Percy Harvin, the freshman. Can't quite shake loose. He does pick up 6 yards. Leak, of course, is a starter for his 4th year. And really struggled in the last 2 games, Gary.
Yeah, 6 interceptions the last couple games, and a couple of those throws were not on target and not bad reads on top of it.
Troutwine, Wilson. You saw Wilson starting at left guard. There's the remainder of the starting offensive line. Let's check in with Tracy Wilson.
Florida trainers were looking at Everett's right shoulder. They were testing his range of motion. He told them, though, he was okay. Expect to see him back in on the next series.
All right, 6 tackles already today.
Yeah, he popped it right on the shoulder pad. You can see that on Boyd. Right shoulder right there, and he felt a stinger. That's a medical term. Stinger.
Okay. I've heard it used late at night, having some reference to adult beverages. Second down and 4. Play fake. Leak. Deep left side. Andre Caldwell over the shoulder. Can't quite get up to it, so it'll be 3rd down.
That was a poorly thrown ball. Caldwell was wide open. Again, no mystery here. Man-to-man coverage. You got Caldwell wide open. The ball sails on Chris and not making plays.
Well, here we are, 7-0 South Carolina. And why
look at this.
Would we have this with us?
Well, there's a lot of teams that are happy with this team, aren't they? I mean, from Arkansas to Florida, USC, Texas. I mean, there's teams that are in the hunt. That's why we said in the open, style points are going to mean a lot. Now, everybody's going to vibe. Everybody's looking to vote because of what Rutgers did in this BCS game.
Well, it was a thrilling game. Rutgers now one of 4 remaining undefeateds in Division I. Deshaun Wynn is in, goes left and has the first down. 1st and 10 here with Florida trailing by 7. 1st down and 10. Leak pulls it back. Finally has to set. Oh, boy. Down to the 45. That was ever so dangerous. Deshaun Wynn with the catch.
Offensive coordinator and play caller Urban Meyer were saying, no, don't throw this one. Backing up all the way across the field. Oh, my. Chris Leak says, thank God. Oh, my. He just assumed the running back would be wide open, and that was not a good assumption.
And it's good for a first down at the 46-yard line. 2:02 to go. Leak back. Little crossing pattern to Harvin. He reverses field. And he's to the 35. The clock will stop now because that is a first down, a gain of 11. The clock will stop while they reset the chain.
When Harvin gets that football, 3 Gamecocks had an opportunity to get him, and they lose leverage. Harvin comes across, gets the ball. One guy stopped. There's 1 and 2. 3rd guy's going to come into your picture right there.
Snap is made. Leak throws it out of bounds. And a flag way, way downfield.
Substitution infraction, number 1 on the defense. The player came on the field during the play to give them 11 players. That'll be a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. He first down.
Captain Munnerlin. Well, Steve Spurrier has defeated his alma mater. My timing is off. And it's time for the Aflac answer. Sylvester Kroom, Rich Brooks are the other 2. First down and 5 from the 30-yard line. Here's Leak pulling up. He's got a man open. That's the tight end Cornelius Ingram, number 7, who started his career on campus as the 4th-string quarterback. Also was a basketball player, highly touted. Played 1 year for the Gators and almost quit this team back in the spring. And Vernell Brown, a starting cornerback last year, said, wait a minute, they're going to put you at tight end. Talked Corny Ingram into sticking with the ball club, and he's made valuable contributions.
Yeah. And tight end in this offense is kind of a misnomer. You get to line up like that all the time.
First down and 10. Leak pumps, goes back deep, got a man open, underthrown, but Baker has the catch. Leak to Baker. Urban Meyer's team within 1 of tying it up. Dallas Baker, who was the only man on this Florida roster who was actually signed by the Steve Spurrier coaching group. He then spent a year at a high school in Massachusetts getting his grades up.
Well, that was a woefully underthrown football that Dallas Baker saved Chris Leak on. He tries with the play call to get a little motion going to his right, but watch Baker how open he is to the outside. Fred Bennett is 7 yards behind, and then Fred Bennett says, I'm going to catch it, and Dallas Baker intercepts it from Fred Bennett. Wow.
Urban Meyer in his 2nd season here. Steve Spurrier in his 2nd season at South Carolina. 7-7 at the half. And Tracy Wolfson is with Steve Spurrier. Trace?
Coach, you're tied at the half. You've been able to move the ball. Are you happy with what your team's done so far?
Well, I wish we could catch an interception when we get our chances. We're not maximizing our chances. And, we hope Florida doesn't play real well. They're dropping some balls. But it's 7-7. We got a chance.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back to you guys.
It's great to have him back in college football.
It sure is.
It's great to have him here, too. Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier. 7-7 at the break. Let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio. 1995, trailing Peyton Manning in Tennessee by 16. The Gators deluged the Vols by scoring 48 straight points in a game known simply as the comeback.
Firing the ball down to the corner for Doran. He's got it. Touchdown! And the Gators are gone over the 60-point mark with a beautiful throw and catch.
Welcome back to the Swamp. Sun setting in the west as we get ready for the third quarter. This game being brought to you on CBS in high-definition television. And just a moment ago, Urban Meyer stopped by to chat with Tracy Wilson.
Coach, what do you need to do to put more points on the board?
Well, we had 3 possessions in the first half, and that's a product of them running the ball on us. And then the problem is on 2 possessions, we walked away without points. Missed a field goal and had a penalty and a sack. So I think South Carolina shortened the game a little bit. And we just got to score when we get down there. We can't let them run the ball on us. They're running the ball real well on us, and that usually don't happen.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, thank you, Trace. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson here in the Swamp. 7-7 as we start the third. Ryan Suckup will kick off as Florida gets the ball to open the third. And as Urban Meyer just told Tracy, they can't get downfield and not get points. Here's Brandon James. Well, here you go. Flag is down all the way back at the 16. And you know what that usually means.
Well, it happened against Tennessee. We saw it, didn't we?
Yes. Brandon James in that Tennessee game had an 89-yard punt return wiped out by an illegal block in the back. What do we got here?
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 56 on the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, 1st and 10.
Now let's see if we can see the play.
We also said from the right side, there it is right there. There's the block. Okay. There's the head right there, and we saw it. I think it was the Georgia game. We saw another one of these where Brandon James had one of those plays, and now we see another one. I got to tell you, on that one, the guy that got blocked in the back, he could have made the tackle. That had to be called.
And so it wipes out a 55-yard gain. Handoff left side. That's Percy Harvin, number 8. And let's check the halftime numbers.
Well, when you only get the ball 3 times each, now South Carolina had it a 4th time, but they were just taking a knee. Not a lot can happen. But you can see that, and Urban Meyer was right. Remember that penalty when Florida had that pass down here about the 15-yard line and put it back, then the missed field goal. You can't make mistakes in a slow-down game. This is a slow-down game.
2nd down and 1. Dallas Baker in motion. Whoa, bad snap. Leak gets it in his hands and takes the loss back to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, and that was going to go to Deshaun Wynn that time, number 21, and another self-inflicted wound by, an offense. And again, Urban Meyer said sometimes we look like the bad news bears, and here's the case right here. You're trying to win a national championship. You just can't make mistakes like that.
And that was the center, Steve Rissler, who sent it about 7 feet high. A loss of 4, and it becomes 3rd and 5. Missed field goal, a punt, and a touchdown on the 3 possessions in the first half. Leak steps up, pumps once. That's complete to Percy Harvin. Kid can fly. He's all the way to the 49-yard line. Stoney Woodson, number 3, makes the tackle, but a 23-yard gain.
South Carolina does not like to substitute. This time the matchup against first a safety and then a middle linebacker. And you could see it. Jasper Brinkley had no chance with that speed. He had one guy forcing it into the middle linebacker, and the middle linebacker not fast enough to make that play.
Harvin stays in the tailback spot. North Carolina, 2 wide receivers wide to the right. Leak looks deep, goes deep, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15-yard line by Stoney Woodson, number 36. And he is still running free. A flag is down inside the 20. And a player is down for Florida. It's Dallas Baker.
Sure is. Either left knee or left ankle. That was a real strange play because Jamel Cornelius, number 6, never cleared the area for that deep throw, and the pickoff comes from a guy who's not even covering the intended receiver.
After the change of possession, Illegal block in the back, number 8 against South Carolina. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be South Carolina's ball, 1st and 10.
See, Chris Leak thinks he's got man-to-man coverage, but this is the guy who's going to make the interception. This is the guy he's throwing the football to, I believe. But it's one of those, let's see if it's a crossing route from the other side. Yes, it is. Watch, he throws it to the inside guy, and the outside defender makes the play. That's a bad design of a route or a miss route by the receiver. That shouldn't happen.
1st down and 10. 7-7. Blake Mitchell, Mike Davis.
Look at this.
Nice run. How about the swerving ability of Davis? They are running the ball really well against Florida.
Yeah, and they've done, they're so effective throwing the ball. Don't have Marcus Thomas. Let's be, honest about that. I think Seiler's not 100%. He ran right out of the picture on that one. Seiler's playing at maybe 75%, and the patience of this South Carolina offense is working. Now, watch, give him a little Rice to the outside. About a 6-8 yard 12 hook or a nice pass to the outside. Spread that defense and then attack the middle again.
South Carolina over 100 yards now. 107 yards on the ground. A 1st and 10 at the 45. Mitchell will throw. Fires it. Caught. Flag is down. Catch is made at the 33-yard line by Kenny McKinley. It's a gain of 12 if it stands. Gary mentioned in the first half he was a 4-year starter high school quarterback. Weighed only 165 pounds.
I love this route for a couple reasons. As a quarterback, go down there, hook in front of him. Now it's basketball. Post him up, throw him the ball, go up and give it. The other thing as a quarterback, you just start throwing to a spot.
Number 28 on the defense. That penalty will be declined. The play gained more yardage than the foul. It will be a 1st and 10.
Let me continue why. The linebackers, oftentimes, you have to make sure you don't lead a guy into a linebacker. When that receiver stopped and looking at you, you can miss to the right or to the left, and that receiver can go both ways. It doesn't have to be a perfect pass. It's actually the easiest pass to throw as a quarterback.
1st down and 10. Rice goes wide left, so does McKinley. Lewis and Smith go out to cover them, and they're both laying off. Here comes Smith on the blitz. It's picked up, and there's Boyd inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That was an outstanding run by Boyd and a good block. I don't know if it was on Joe Cohen, but he went off the field. You see the pulling guard coming. That's actually that's Stafford right there. Leonard Stafford, number 39. Follow that guy and look at that pirouette. Nicely done by Corey Boyd.
Pirouette?
I
like that.
Have you ever had that one before?
I worked with a guy named Terry Bradshaw who once said, yeah, and he turned around nicely too. Pirouette. 2nd down. And a flag comes from the near side. Brandon Spikes makes this tackle along with Brian Cumm on Mike Davis. For the day, Mitchell 15 of 21 for 155. Here's
illegal block below the waist, number 11, crackback block. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Repeat 2nd down.
Now you see McKinley come in motion, and then he goes low to take on Joyner. You cannot do that when you come in motion. You got to block above the waist. Good call. That's a safety issue, and that was changed up a few years ago, and that's a good rule.
And so with 1 second to go in the 3rd, 2nd down and 18. Mitchell steps up, hit as he lets it go. It's caught by Mike West, number 23.
Who was he throwing that one to? I don't know if he was trying to get that to Sidney Rice over the middle, and it just deflected to someone else on the play. He's trying to go downfield, and it just squirts out of his arm, and that's the way it goes sometimes. We saw a team win a game like that last week, didn't we? Jamarcus Russell trying to throw the ball to the back of the end zone, and early Doucette intercepts it.
And so the catch leaves us with a 3rd and 6 and a score of 7-7. That's the end of 3. 7-7 ball game. We'll return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium right after this word from your local station. In a game Steve Spurrier called his greatest moment as Florida head coach, the Gators rang in the new year and overwhelmed arch-rival Florida State in the Sugar Bowl to win the national title.
The Florida Gators, the 1996 national champions.
And so it is remembered inside the swamp with a large banner painted in the south end zone of Ben Hill Griffin. We begin the 4th. Steve Spurrier's team tied with Urban Meyer's team. It's 7-7.
One-on-one on Rice out here to the top of the screen.
And playing way off.
Yep.
Mitchell, quick setup inside, tipped incomplete. Mike West, the intended receiver, that brings up 4th down. And in all likelihood, we're going to see Ryan Suckup come on to try and break the tie. His last field goal was blocked. Steve Spurrier insisted to us that the drama, the emotion was out of this because he'd been back here twice. I don't believe that.
No. Well, I think he sold his team on that.
Yeah.
And that's good strategy. I said, don't be intimidated. I've been there a couple times. They're already, listen, Steve Spurrier's got a system he believes in. He runs it, he teaches it. And when he gets pressure, he expects his guys to perform.
Suckup from 47 yards to give South Carolina the lead. Oh, that was perfect. One blocked, one made, and the old ball coach's team leads by 3. Just underway in the final stanza from the Swamp. (10-7) on the sideline. Sidney Rice, only a sophomore, already the career leader in touchdown catches with 20, and for the day, 6 catches for 60 yards. Here's Keyston Moore, who's deep.
Yeah, I kick it to 33 instead of 25. I can. I mean, if I could angle it, I'm angling it.
This is plants this one. Comes out to the 20, and let's check in once again with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, thanks, guys. As you just mentioned, all week Steve Spurrier hasn't been saying much about his return, but I got a little out of him before the game. I said, Coach, it must have been a little strange coming onto this field with a different team, and he said, yeah, it was a bit strange, but once the game starts, it's all about calling plays. Back to you.
All right, Tracy. He's made 2 trips down here because South Carolina played 2 Thursday night games earlier in the year. He was here for the reunion of the 96th NCAA champions and then came back for the Ring of Honor installation and said those 2 ovations he got were the loudest he's ever had in his life, and very much appreciated. Now here's a run up the middle. Deshaun Wynn, Savell Newton, the quarterback, saves the touchdown.
I tell you, I just don't get it. I've been saying this for 5 weeks watching this team. I don't understand what they don't like about number 21. You know, he was nicked a bit, I know, but he had to almost beg for the football against Georgia in that football game, and they're best. Florida is best when number 21 has run the football. Gained over 100 against Tennessee in that great win on the road against Tennessee.
22 on that carry. 77 most since September. Here's Leak. He's got a man that can't get there. Bubba Caldwell, number 5 on the crossing route. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I don't know if we'll see Tebow, except for short yardage or goal line situations. I think you got to hand the ball to Chris Leak now. He's 14 for 20. He's been on target all day. You got a running back who can run the ball. And to be honest, South Carolina's just playing man-to-man defense and saying, you can't beat us, Florida receivers. Come on, have you heard that many times in the Swamp?
I'm just thinking that.
You can't beat us, Florida receivers?
Wow. 2nd down and 10. from the 40, a 10-7 South Carolina lead. Sweep. Caldwell comes right, cuts it up to the 47, perhaps the 48-yard line, with 13:45 to go. 3rd and 3. Well, this is a Florida team that has had well-documented problems putting points on the board. At home, they've yet to score over 30 in any of their SEC games. The last time that happened was 1988.
Right. And this is the first time this year they've even trailed in the 4th quarter at home. New territory.
3rd and 3. Leak goes left, pulls it up, fires it. Caught. Ingram to the 25-yard line. And Savell Newton again makes the tackle. A 22-yard run by Deshaun Wynn. Now a 27-yard pass from Chris Leak to his tight end Cornelius Ingram.
Same rub play they always run. They're going to come out this way and rub off a receiver right there that's going to kind of get a block right to the outside. You'll see it come in. Ingram goes out. There's the rub right there, and it comes right underneath it with a nice pitch and catch. Boy, that was right on target. That was a money throw, 3rd down throw, and he came through.
On 1st down from the 25, he'll go from the gun. Handoff. They try to sweep, and this one goes nowhere. Andre Caldwell tackled by Cook, Emmanuel Cook, number 21. Well, we talked about the struggles here. Have not scored over 28 points in SEC games. Only one game with 330-plus yards out of 7 played.
Yeah, and that was Kentucky, a game you expect to dominate. Against the upper-tier defenses, Florida offense has not come through this year.
2nd and 14, 12 to go. South Carolina with 3 down. Looks like they might bring 5. They'll bring 4. Leak from the backside finds Dallas Baker to the 20-19. It'll be 3rd and long. Well, 3rd and mid-range. Baker with a catch.
When you don't pressure Chris Leak and play that soft zone, you got a 7-man zone back there. I mean, Chris Leak is tough to stop.
How big is this now, Gary? You've got a field goal kicker who already has missed from 29.
Right.
He's 2 for 8 for. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get it to see Florida go for it.
Well,
3rd and 5 at the 19. And the Gators trail by 3. Quick flip, left side. It's a moot point. Andre Caldwell picks up the 1st down.
Again, when you just line up right here, the Gamecocks just gave you the look that we're playing man-to-man, just man-to-man. 1, 2, 3. You just run the bubble screen to the outside. Caldwell shows him the number 5. It's a nice technique by Caldwell. You turn, give the quarterback a nice target, go upfield for a 1st down.
And so a 1st down at the 13-yard line. 11:25 to go. Yards average after the catch. Florida 108. Halfback pass, no. Caldwell throws it away.
Intentional
Yeah,
grabbing.
sure it is.
Tried to get too cute. Florida, again, tried to just gimmick their way to a touchdown.
Intentional grounding. Number 5 on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul and loss of down.
From the spot of the foul, significant.
Did it sound like I didn't like the play call?
I've seen, well, the Gators just might expire of self-inflicted wounds.
Holy cow. No one's covered Dallas Baker yet. Chris Leak is 17 for 23, and you're going to let Caldwell try to steal a cheap touchdown.
Sounds like you were not enamored of that one.
Well, I might have got benched on that one. I wouldn't have called that one in the huddle.
2nd down across the middle.
There you go.
Crossing route.
There you go.
Harvin to the 10. They're just short of the first down. Percy Harvin, and he gets up limping.
Yep, that high ankle sprain that's bothered him all year. He kind of got that Roy Williams tackle from behind. Okay? This is so simple. They've been giving you this crossover all day. We've seen about 5 of these to Harvin. And watch, comes across. Brinkley can't get him. Harvin goes upstairs, and then Brinkley does from behind. And that's when those things hurt you. And guess who's in, Vern?
3rd and 2 officially. Tim Tebow from the shotgun. Let's go. Goes left. Tebow goes left. Pulls up. Option play. Let's go. Can't get it. It's 4th down. Now what do you do?
I would kick a field goal. I'm just going to say, you got to tie the football game here. You can't take the chance.
Chris Hetland has missed from 29. He's coming on the field. Excuse
me, Vern. Got a little, try to trick them again. Try to trick for the Let's Go touchdown instead of going for it. You got to depend on your kicker. It's his job.
22 yards. He's made 2 this year. 1 from 22, 1 from 29. Chris Hetland, redshirt senior from Leesburg. Now that crowd in the south end zone agrees with the decision. There were murmured boos as Hetland came on the field, but he has knocked it home, and we're tied at 10. Here's some weight. Let me lift it off my shoulders.
Yes.
There we go. Breakfast with the Gators. Sunday morning, starting at 8:30.
10-10 ball game, 10:49 to go. Don't forget later in the game, the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. Well, Chris Hetland from 22 yards out. We're tied. That's a little different look than we saw from him in the first quarter.
You said it exactly right. Way to the world.
You got the police officer patting you on the back. That augurs well for the remainder of the evening.
Yeah, and I think it was also good the type of kick it was. You know, you may need him later for a game-winning kick. Give him one to get his confidence going, and I think that was the one he needed.
Eric Wilbur, the punter, alongside, and Joey Eos is getting set to kick off, number 98.
Remember a year ago, South Carolina was winning all these close games. Will this be the night? They haven't been winning them this year.
No. Lost to Tennessee by 7, lost to Arkansas. Auburn, 6 and 7. Touchback. Sidney Rice in motion, followed by Smith. They fake the reverse and hand it off to Mike Davis, who gets about a yard. Well, South Carolina comes in with back-to-back losses at home. Tennessee and Arkansas. Here's the way things have happened for them at Auburn earlier in the season. They wind up losing 17-24, had a chance to tie or take the lead. Tennessee, 31-24, and then last week, great comeback engineered by Blake Mitchell, but threw an interception with 5 minutes to go in the game. Inside, Rice.
Yeah, that's where you got to go. I'm surprised he didn't go with him that time. Remember the 3rd down play when he threw to West inside? That's where I would have gone with the football. Florida's defensive backs do not feel confident covering Rice. They know they can be deep. Ryan Smith, Utah, we didn't play with any guys against guys like that. No guys like that on Utah's schedule.
Had that 5-touchdown game against Florida Atlantic that Gary mentioned earlier. He's only got 2 other touchdowns this season, so a total of 7. 1 last week.
By the way, Brandon Spikes has been in the game the whole time at linebacker.
Play action for Mitchell, back with a lot of time, goes deep. He's got McKinley open, perfect pass, and McKinley's out of bounds with the first down at the 30-yard line. What a beauty.
He had 7 catches last week against Arkansas. This time he's going to come right across the, remember that crackback block? Same look, only this time it's a play action pass. Look at this throw. Vern called it perfect, like handing off the baton on a race. That's how perfect that was.
Kenny McKinley, Father Ken, a bank manager in the greater Atlanta area, successfully fought off colon cancer a year ago and is here watching this game. McKinley goes wide right. Davis. High-low at the 23-yard line.
Aggressive run.
Second down. Mitchell back. Left side. Oh, wide open is McKinley. That had to be a blown coverage.
You know, when you got a system you believe in, and you're calling plays. Now, Steve Spurrier, he told me that if a quarterback came from Florida, you know, Danny Werfel came, he could still run the offense that I'm running right now. Same terminology. This is so simple right here. Had to be a busted coverage and well read. And again, Blake Mitchell puts it right where he had to, right on the face mask. Yeah. He just has so much confidence in his plays. It's just like reaching in for that old putter in your bag. He's had it 25 years. He feels comfortable with it.
1st and 10. Davis to the corner, touchdown, South Carolina.
That's the best called drive I've seen in 10 years in college football.
Really?
That was perfect. Every play call had a plan, executed. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they got it in for 7 points.
The touchdown comes on Mike Davis's 17th carry of the ball game. It comes from 14 yards out. And South Carolina responds with the tie-breaking touchdown, suck upon, blocked. This can be returned.
Pointer.
Reggie Nelson is tackled, but whoa, filed that one away. Jarvis Moss, number 94, made the block.
You remember those losses against Auburn, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Each game was decided or helped be decided by a special teams play. Remember the onside kick by Auburn, Hafney's punt return, and the punt block for a safety. Now this makes it a 6-point game. Whoa, inside. Big number 94, Jarvis Moss. Uh-oh.
Take a look at the touchdown, though. Mike Davis from 14. Extra point blocked it 16-10.
What a well-executed play against one of the best defenses in college football. Florida's turn.
That's the 11th block kick. They blocked a field goal earlier, and now an extra point. Special teams. Suckup.
Perfect kick.
Yes. And so with 8:07 to go, Gators from the 20. Menacing looking thing in the end zone. Each time they've had the ball, they've gotten into South Carolina territory, have the Gators. On first down, they flip it out left side. Harvin, incomplete. And a 2nd down and 10. Leak from the gun. And off to Wynn, goes left. He's averaging over 8 yards per carry, and he picks up 5 on that one. Okay, 3rd and 5. 3 men down for South Carolina. Leak has it. Hit. Escapes the tackle. He'll run. And he's going to be caught short.
But they close on Chris Leak. You could tell he pulled it down. It was an 8-man drop that time. South Carolina dropped into his zone. Chris had nowhere to throw the ball. Wanted to go. Had to go out to the outside. And then he knew about halfway through this run he wasn't going to make it. And instead of laying out on a huge play, kind of backed away from that play. And on 4th down, ooh, look who trots on the field.
Tebow is in 4th and 1. This has not been a successful gambit for Florida this year. They're only 2 for 9 on 4th down.
Bet they don't pass this one.
I'll bet you're right. 4th and 1 from the 29. Tebow. Got it. He's like a train on that play. Or at least the locomotive.
Well, he was on that one. That was a big hit by Woodson, number 36. I mean, this is a collision. I mean, you talk about two guys well blocked. Got to hand it to Stoney Woodson there. There was no getting out of the way of that train. Right now, with a little over 5.5 minutes to play here, you're looking at this might be the last time you get the ball if you're Florida.
Leak, crossing pattern. Whoa! It's Harvin. Tackle from behind. Great speed. I mean, somewhere in the vicinity of 4.25, 4.3 for the 40. Track champion in high school, basketball player, but limping again, that high ankle sprain.
This is about the sixth catch of the sixth catch of the game for Harvin. At least 5 of them have been on that pass right over the middle. The over route right between the hashes. It seems to be conceded by South Carolina. Let Harvin have that throw, and Florida should be taking it more often.
5:31 to go as the clock stops on the out-of-bounds play. Deshaun Wynn is back on the field. So is Billy Latsko, number 42. Wynn can't quite break the tackle.
Yeah, but, Vern, that's 6-7 yards right there. He carried on that first down play before, 22 yards, and never got the ball again. Remember when they kicked the field goal on that drive? I tell you, the guy's just good. Seems like a good running back to me. He might not be, the best. Maybe he doesn't have he doesn't go all the way with it like Reggie Bush, but he makes first downs. 11 for 88. That ain't bad.
Second down and 3. 5:04 to go. Dallas Baker starts in motion, followed by Fred Bennett. Leak keeps it. How about this play? He had a 45-yarder against Alabama. This one not quite as far, but equally meaningful. Chris Leak.
Boy, this is a great call right here. No one was expecting this. The belly keeper by Chris Leak. You could see just ran right by a guy right there. Had no chance for it. Up front, Ryan Brown had it, did not see it, and says, no way. Chris Leak's going to keep this thing upfield. Great call by Dan Mullen.
That's a gain of 16 and a first down at the 23 with 4:34 to go. Here's Leak pulling it back. Going deep. Got a man in the end zone. Tipped away.
Savell Newton saw it. The quarterback read that crossing route. Same play that worked against Tennessee for a touchdown. This time, Savell Newton back there says, we got that play. And he followed Chris Leak's eyes. Ball hung a bit. Newton almost. Remember Steve said at halftime to Tracy, we got to make one of those plays. We got to catch. That was catchable by Newton. If he makes that play, that could be a winning play.
Well, he was the starting quarterback last week against Arkansas, benched at the half after a 7 of 19 performance. Handoff. They come right. Deshaun Wynn to the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8 with 4:15 to go, and a sense of urgency now on the sidelines and in the stands.
It's going to be a real interesting strategy for Urban Meyer here. If you don't pick it up to make it real close on 4th down, 2 field goals tie it. What's he going to do? That's why he makes, what does he make, a couple $1 million a year?
Yeah, I've heard that. 3rd and 8. Empty backfield for Leak. South Carolina 3 men down. They're going to drop 8. And Leak on a quarterback draw up the middle, spins to the 12. I think he got the first down.
It's going to be within inches either way. Now that's the way you lay out when the game's on the line, Chris Leak. Your teammates like that one.
Timeout for the measurement.
Boy. Real close.
Yes, it is. Tim Tebow might have a role in all this, but for the moment, he's a yell leader. And the stretch. Got it.
Well, he had the belly read. Now he's got the quarterback draw. No, he didn't go all the way, but I tell you, he almost got it. Cody Wells had a shot to save that play, and he got through to the first down marker and just got across.
And on first down, it's Tim Tebow, the freshman. Had the first down run on 4th and 1 back at the 30. Again, 3 down for South Carolina. Tebow goes left to the 5. Touchdown, Gators! Drama continues. Chris Hetland has missed 2 extra points this year. He's on to attempt to try for the lead. Perfect. Florida leads.
His 7th play of the football game. First down, power O with your power back. This is just power O. Follow the guard, Drew Miller, get into the end zone and step over a safety. Boy, did Florida answer that drive. That was pressure-packed, and they did it.
Gamecocks get the ball back. They have all 3 timeouts left. 90,000 plus on hand, most of them roaring now in approval as the Gators respond to South Carolina's touchdown with a blocked extra point and a superb drive with Tim Tebow scoring from 12 yards out.
Remember when Les Miles made the call? Urban Meyer made the call on 4th on his own 29-yard line with Tebow. Big decision, and it came through.
Joey Eos will kick off, number 98. Corey Boyd and Mike West are the deep men for South Carolina. 17-16, and the Gamecocks have all 3 timeouts left. Short, returnable. Taken by Boyd at the 9. Breaks the tackle and is spilled up at the 25-yard line. Big play provided by defensive end Jarvis Moss with the blocked extra point.
Yeah, right there, number 94, just a little penetration, got up there, and that changed the whole kind of feel of this football game. Chris Leak, the quarterback draw on 3rd down, and then, of course, Tebow comes in the football game on 1st down to score. But remember, the big play, I think, was going for it on 4th down. You got to give credit to Urban Meyer. He stood up there like the decision maker and made a good decision.
Here's Mitchell back. Underneath pass is caught by Freddie Brown, number 82, and that moves it all. Tebow, as expected, with the 4th down play back at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, this is it. This could be the football game. Nice fit by Billy Latsko, number 42 that time. Came around the corner and sealed off the linebacker.
2nd and 1. Mitchell, nobody open. Comes now, somebody's open. Wow.
I don't like that 2-man rush. Listen, they got a big field goal kicker for South Carolina. 2-man rush, that's too long.
That quiets the crowd.
Yeah. Suckup can hit it from 50 yards. 2-man rush all the time in the world. You just can't play zone that long. You can't hold on to men that long. And Mike West does a nice job of getting underneath that and making the play. I'm sorry, that was
Mike Davis.
It was. Yeah, Mike, you got it.
Ryan Suckup has one from 55 yards out this season. 1st down. Quick flip, right side, good block on the corner. The catch is made by Mo Brown, number 9.
Yeah, it was Kenny McKinley with that good block. That ball was thrown about 35 yards in the air that time, and McKinley kind of freed it up.
2nd and 6.
Sure get your money's worth in this league, don't you? Holy cow.
68 seconds to go. Davis is the running back. 2 men wide to the near side, and 2 are wide right. Mitchell back. Pumps, hit as he lets it go. 1-on-1, deep, intercepted. It was a flutter ball. And Tremaine McCollum, number 18, had a shot at the interception.
Yeah, Jarvis Moss and Derek Harvey, number 94 and 91, I think were the guys that met at the quarterback right there. Yep, that's exactly right what happens. And that was fortunate. That could have gone to anybody.
3rd down. They need 6. Again, same formation. Florida will blitz. Mitchell got it at the 31-yard line. Freddie Brown.
What kind of pass was that? Hook pass?
Yes.
Little button hook. Go down 12 yards, button hook. I'll tell you, it's the first thing when you're playing in the streets is come down here, the old button hook. Nothing like that ball. See how the receiver could move to an inaccurate throw? Yeah, got no visor. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Tense up. 3 timeouts left.
35 seconds to go. They hand it off to position the ball at the 35-yard line. If they don't gain it down, it'll be a 52-yarder. They lost 2 on that one. Suckup twice this season. Once from 55, once from 50. This afternoon, he's hit from 47. And he is probably going to have a chance as South Carolina takes its first timeout. Ryan Suckup, 11-13 from field goal range coming into the ball game. Had a blocked field goal earlier in this one. That was from 47 yards out. He made one from 47, but here's the difference in the ball game right now. The blocked extra point. It's 2nd down and 12. Corey Boyd in the backfield with Blake Mitchell. South Carolina, 2 timeouts remaining.
1-on-1 on Sidney Rice to the top of the screen. Right up there. 1-on-1, your best guy. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Mitchell lets it go. Flag is down before.
Oh my.
And there's another flag there. So we have 2 flags on this play, but the one may be a pre-snap.
It's exactly right. And they went for the slant and go. Spurrier went for it all, and he had it all down to the 7-yard line. Oh, a self-inflicted wound on a touchdown-type play.
Before the snap, false start, number 77 on the offense. A 5-yard penalty. Keep 2nd down.
Yeah, that's...
Meredith, the left tackle.
Right here. Can you see it?
There it is. There it is.
Yep.
So 2nd and 17 with 22 seconds to go.
And now out of field goal range. I mean, they might be, but it'd be a long one.
Florida rushes 4. Right side, incomplete. 3rd down.
Boy, on that little movement on Meredith, South Carolina had the guy on the coverage and the play exactly the way they wanted it. And now they need about 8-10 yards to make it a good try.
I would think. Again, Suckup's long for the year is 55. It's 3rd and 17 with 18 seconds to go. South Carolina has timeouts left. Mitchell, quick setup inside. Freddie Brown at the 31-yard line.
They'll run it all the way down, won't they?
This will make it about a 48-yarder.
The slant that was so good to him against Arkansas is exactly what he came back to.
Ryan Succop, a 6'3" sophomore from Hickory, North Carolina, will get his chance when we come back. Ryan Succop, 7 of 11 in excess of 40. This one from 48. For the lead.
Remember, Meyer has never lost at home, and South Carolina has never won in the Swamp. Nothing you can do as a coach now. As they say, the hay's in the barn.
Scott Morgan, Ike Crowfoot, most significantly, Ryan Succop involved for South Carolina on this play. It is blocked.
Moss again.
Jarvis Moss again. Urban Meyer is still not lost in the Swamp. South Carolina still has not won in the Swamp. And Florida's dreams of a berth in the BCS title game remain alive by a very slim margin.
How about the margin of a 6'6" defensive end who blocked an extra point and field goal, Jarvis Moss? The margin of those fingers.
Let's go down to Tracy with Urban Meyer.
Coach, special teams, special teams, special teams. How did you guys pull this one out?
That was a great win against a very talented team, very well-coached team, and we got something going here in the Swamp. We got to keep it going.
Talk about that final go-ahead touchdown drive.
Yeah, I thought Chris really did a nice job. Then we operated a little bit more out of the spread sets. That was a little bit more of the spread offense. And then Tim Tebow, you know, what can you say about it? He's as good a runner as I've been around.
Does this team deserve to be talked about in the national championship race?
Get ready and keep getting a little better, but of course we do.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back to you guys.
Jarvis Moss from Denton, Texas. 2 blocks today.
An extra point. Look at that. 6'6", his left hand, his ring finger. Might that be the ring finger that keeps alive a national championship prayer?
On the sideline, Urban Meyer tried to downplay the significance of this matchup with Steve Spurrier. Don't you believe it didn't matter? And let's go down to Tracy Wolfson, who's with Jarvis Moss.
Jarvis, talk about that block kick.
Oh, man. Ray McDonald and Steve Harris are 2 big guys. And they pushed the lineman back, and I jumped as high as I could. And God willing, we blocked it, and hey, we still got a shot at all of it.
How bad did you want this win coming against the old ball coach?
Oh, it was huge. We at home. We don't like to lose at home. And we really needed a win tonight just to keep everything going we want to do, and we did that tonight.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Well, I think it's worthy of another look. Ryan Succop, 48 yards for the lead. Jarvis Moss, 6'6", went about 8'6".
Needed every inch of it. The vertical, the long arms, and the height. Every inch of it.
Urban Meyer's reaction, just another day in the Swamp. Although things are not quite as murky and muddy as they were 30 minutes ago. Well, just another average day in the SEC.
You bet.